Daisy by Francis Thompson. Read for LibriVox.org by Algie Pug. Where the thistle lifts a purple crown 6 foot out of the turf, and the harebell shakes on the windy hill, O breath of the distant surf! The hills look over on the south, and southward dreams the sea, and with the sea breeze hand in hand came Innocence and she. Where mid the gorse the raspberry red for the gatherer springs, 2 children did we stray and talk, wise idle childish things. She listened with big-lipped surprise, breast deep mid flower and spine. Her skin was like a grape whose veins run snow instead of wine. She knew not those sweet words she spake, nor knew her own sweet way, but there's never a bird so sweet a song thronged in whose throat all day. Oh, there were flowers in Storrington, on the turf and on the spray, but the sweetest flower on Sussex hills was the daisy flower that day. Her beauty smoothed earth's furrowed face, she gave me tokens 3, a look, a word of her winsome mouth, and a wild raspberry. A berry red, a guileless look, a still word, strings of sand, and yet they made my wild, wild heart fly down to her little hand. For standing artless as the air, and candid as the skies, she took the berries with her hand, and the love with her sweet eyes. The fairest things have fleetest end, their scent survives their close, but the rose's scent is bitterness to him that loved the rose. She looked a little wistfully, then went her sunshine way. The sea's eye had a mist on it, and the leaves fell from that day. She went her unremembering way, she went, and left in me the pang of all the partings gone, and partings yet to be. She left me marvelling why my soul was sad that she was glad, at all the sadness in the sweetness in the sad. Still, still I seem to see her, still look up with soft replies, and take the berries with her hand, and the love with her lovely eyes. Nothing begins, and nothing ends, that is not paid with moan, for we are born in others' pain, and perish in our own. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fallen Brave by George Pope Morris. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. From cypress and from laurel boughs are twined in sorrow and in pride, the leaves that deck the mouldering brows of those who for their country died. In sorrow that the sable pall enfolds the valiant and the brave, in pride that those who nobly fall win garlands that adorn the grave. The onset, the pursuit, the roar of victory o'er the routed foe will startle from their rest no more the fallen brave of Mexico. To God alone such spirits yield. He took them in their strength and bloom, when gathering on the tented field the garlands woven for the tomb. The shrouded flag, the drooping spear, the muffled drum, the solemn bell, the funeral train, the dirge, the bier, the mourners' sad and last farewell, are fading tributes to the worth of those whose deeds this homage claim. But Time, who mingles them with earth, keeps green the garlands of their fame. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Green Hand Rouseabout by Henry Lawson. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. The Green Hand Rouseabout. Call this hot? I beg your pardon, hot? You don't know what it means. What's that, waiter? Lamb or mutton? Thank you, mine is beef and greens. Bread and butter while I'm waiting. Milk? Oh, yes, a bucketful. I'm just in from West the Darling, picking up and rolling wool. Mutton stewed or chops for breakfast, dry and tasteless, boiled in fat. Bread or brownie, tea or coffee, 2 hours graft in front of that. Legs of mutton boiled for dinner, mutton greasy warm for tea, mutton curried. Gave my order, beef and plenty greens for me. Breakfast, curried rice and mutton till your innards sacrifice, and you sicken at the colour and the smell of curried rice. All day long with living mutton, bits and belly wool and fleece, blinded by the yoke of wool, and shirts and trousers stiff with grease. Till you long for sight of verdure, cabbage plots and water clear, and you crave for beef and butter as a boozer craves for beer. Dusty patch in baking mulga, glaring iron hut and shed, feel and smell of rain forgotten, water scarce and feed grass dead. Hot and suffocating sunrise, all-pervading sheepyard smell, stiff and aching green-hand stretches, slushy rings the bullock bell. Pint of tea and hunk of brownie, sinners string towards the shed, great black greasy crows round carcass, screen behind of dust cloud red. Engine whistles, go it, tigers, and the agony begins, picking up for 7 devils out of Hades for my sins. Picking up for 7 devils, 7 demons out of hell, sell their souls to get the bell sheep, 6 Christs they'd sell. Day grows hot as where they come from, too damned hot for men or brutes. Roof of corrugated iron, 6'6" above the chutes. Whiz and rattle and vibration like an endless chain of trams. Blasphemy of 5 and 40, prickly heat and stink of rams. Barcoo leaves his pen door open and the sheep come bucking out. When the rouser goes to pen them, Barcoo blasts the rouseabout. Injury with insult added, trial of our cursing powers. Cursed and cursing back enough to damn 12 worlds like ours. Take my combs down to the grinder, will you? Seen my cattle, pup? There's a sheep fell down in my chute. Just jump down and pick it up. If the office when the boss comes. Catch that gory sheep, old man. Count the sheep in my pen, will you? Fetch my combs back when you can. When you get a chance, old fellow, will you pop down to the hut? Fetch my pipe, the cook'll show you, and I'll let you have a cut. Shearer yells for tar and needle, ringers roaring like a bull. Wool away, you son of angels, where the hell's the foundling wool? £1 a week and station prices, mustn't kick against the pricks. 7 weeks of lurid mateship, ruined soul and £4.6. What's that, waiter? Me? Stuffed mutton? Look here, waiter, to be brief, I said beef, you blood-stained villain. Beef, moo cow, roast bullock, beef! End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Grown Up by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira. January 2016. Was it for this I uttered prayers, and sobbed and cursed and kicked the stairs, that now, domestic as a plate, I should retire at 8:30? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Is It Done? By Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira. January 2016. It is done in the fire's fitful flashes. The last line has withered and curled. In a tiny white heap of dead ashes lie buried the hopes of your world. There were mad foolish vows in each letter. It is well they have shrivelled and burned. And the ring, oh the ring was a fetter. It was better removed and returned. But ah, is it done? In the embers, where letters and tokens were cast, have you burned up the heart that remembers and treasures its beautiful past? Do you think in this swift reckless fashion to ruthlessly burn and destroy the months that were freighted with passion, the dreams that were drunken with joy? Can you burn up the rapture of kisses that flashed from the lips to the soul, or the heart that grows sick for lost blisses in spite of its strength of control? Have you burned up the touch of warm fingers that thrilled through each pulse and each vein, or the sound of a voice that still lingers and hurts with a haunting refrain? Is it done? Is the life drama ended? You have put all the lights out, and yet, though the curtain, rung down, has descended, can the actors go home and forget? Ah, no, they will turn in their sleeping, with a strange restless pain in their hearts, and in darkness and anguish and weeping will dream they are playing their parts. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Lines written after a very severe tempest which cleared up extremely pleasant, by Mercy Otis Warren. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. When rolling thunders shake the skies, and lightnings fly from pole to pole, when threatening whirlwinds rend the air, what terrors seize the affrighted soul? Aghast and pale, with thrilling fear, he trembling stands in wild amaze, nor knows for shelter where to hide, to screen him from the livid blaze. Happy the calm and tranquil breast, that with a steady, equal mind, can view those flying shafts of death, with heart and will at once resigned. O thou supreme eternal King, at whose command the tempests rage, with equal ease can worlds destroy, or, with a word, the storm assuage. And though impetuous tempests roar, and penetrating flames surround, thou bidst them cease, the thunders hushed, and rest and silence reign profound. Thus have we seen thy power and might, adoring, we thy works survey, 'tis thou directest the pointed flame, and thus thy goodness dost display. Thou hast composed the rapid winds, and lulled to rest the foaming wave. The clouds dispersed, each twinkling star proclaims aloud thy power to save. The silver moon, the glorious orbs, that swim aloft in boundless space, their rays resplendent all unite, to celebrate at once thy praise. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ne Plus Ultra by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Karen Joan Kahodik. Octoberzine.blogspot.com. Soul positive of night, antipathist of light, fate's only essence, primal scorpion rod, the one permitted opposite of God. Condensed blackness and abysmal storm, compacted to one sceptre, arms the graspy norm, the interceptor, the substance that still casts the shadow, death, the dragon foul and fell, the unrevealable, and hidden one whose breath gives wind and fuel to the fires of hell. Ah, sole despair of both the eternities in heaven, sole interdict of all bedewing prayer, the all-compassionate, save to the lamped seven, revealed to none of all the angelic state, save to the lamped seven that watch the throne of heaven. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
THE OLD OAKEN BUCKET by Samuel Woodworth (LibriVox.org) The Old Oaken Bucket. How dear to this heart are the scenes of my childhood, when fond recollection presents them to view, the orchard, the meadow, the deep tangled wildwood, and every loved spot which my infancy knew, the wide spreading pond, and the mill that stood by it, the bridge, and the rock where the cataract fell, the cot of my father, the dairy house nigh it, and even the rude bucket that hung in the well. The old oaken bucket, the iron bound bucket, the moss covered bucket which hung in the well. That moss covered vessel I hailed as a treasure, for often at noon, when returned from the field, I found it the source of an exquisite pleasure, the purest and sweetest that nature can yield. How ardent I seized it, with hands that were glowing, and quick to the white pebbled bottom it fell. Then soon, with the emblem of truth overflowing, and dripping with coolness, it rose from the well. The old oaken bucket, the iron bound bucket, the moss covered bucket arose from the well. How sweet from the green mossy brim to receive it, as poised on the curb it inclined to my lips. Not a full blushing goblet could tempt me to leave it, the brightest that beauty or revelry sips. And now, far removed from the loved habitation, the tear of regret will intrusively swell, as fancy reverts to my father's plantation, and sighs for the bucket that hangs in the well. The old oaken bucket, the iron bound bucket, the moss covered bucket that hangs in the well. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Act 3, Scene 3 of
Othello
Iago
by William Shakespeare. Part 1.
Read for LibriVox.org by
John Burlinson as Othello.
Tony Addison as Iago.
Excellent wretch! Perdition catch my soul, but I do love thee, and when I love thee not, chaos is come again.
My noble lord,
What dost thou say, Iago?
did Michael Cassio, when you wooed my lady, know of your love?
He did, from first to last. Why dost thou ask?
But for a satisfaction of my thought, no further harm.
Why of thy thought, Iago?
I did not think he had been acquainted with her.
Oh, yes, and went between us very oft.
Indeed?
Indeed? Ay, indeed. Discern'st thou aught in that? Is he not honest?
Honest, my lord?
Honest? Ay, honest.
My lord, for aught I know.
What dost thou think?
Think, my lord?
Think, my lord? By heaven, he echoes me, as if there were some monster in his thought too hideous to be shown. Thou dost mean something. I heard thee say even now, thou likest not that, when Cassio left my wife. What didst not like? And when I told thee he was of my counsel in my whole course of wooing, thou criedst, Indeed? And didst contract and purse thy brow together, as if thou then hadst shut up in thy brain some horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show me thy thought.
My lord, you know I love you.
I think thou dost, and for I know thou'rt full of love and honesty, and waste thy words before thou giv'st them breath. Therefore these stops of thine fright me the more. For such things in a false disloyal knave are tricks of custom, but in a man that's just, they're close dilations, working from the heart, that passion cannot rule.
For Michael Cassio, I dare be sworn, I think that he is honest.
I think so too.
Men should be what they seem, or those that be not, would they might seem none.
Certain, men should be what they seem.
Why, then, I think Cassio's an honest man.
Nay, yet there's more in this. I prithee, speak to me as to thy thinkings, as thou dost ruminate, and give thy worst of thoughts the worst of words.
Good my lord, pardon me. Though I am bound to every act of duty, I am not bound to that all slaves are free to. Utter my thoughts. Why say they are vile and false? As where's that palace whereunto foul things sometimes intrude not? Who has a breast so pure, but some uncleanly apprehensions keep leets and law days, and in sessions sit with meditations lawful?
Thou dost conspire against thy friend Iago, if thou but think'st him wronged, and mak'st his ear a stranger to thy thoughts.
I do beseech you, though I perchance am vicious in my guess, as I confess, it is my nature's plague to spy into abuses, and oft my jealousy shapes faults that are not, that your wisdom yet, from one that so imperfectly conceits, would take no notice, nor build yourself a trouble out of his scattering and unsure observance. It were not for your quiet, nor your good, nor for my manhood, honesty, or wisdom, to let you know my thoughts.
What dost thou mean?
Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing, 'twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name robs me of that which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed.
By heaven, I'll know thy thoughts.
You cannot, if my heart were in your hand, nor shall not, whilst 'tis in my custody.
Ha!
Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. That cuckold lives in bliss, who, certain of his fate, loves not his wronger. But oh, what damned minutes tells he o'er, who dotes yet doubts, suspects yet strongly loves.
Oh, misery!
Poor and content is rich, and rich enough, but riches fineless is as poor as winter to him that ever fears he shall be poor. Good heaven, the souls of all my tribe defend from jealousy.
Why? Why is this? Think'st thou I'd make a life of jealousy, to follow still the changes of the moon with fresh suspicions? No. To be once in doubt is once to be resolved. Exchange me for a goat when I shall turn the business of my soul to such exsufflicate and blown surmises, matching thy inference. 'Tis not to make me jealous to say my wife is fair, feeds well, loves company, is free of speech, sings, plays, and dances well. Where virtue is, these are more virtuous. nor from mine own weak merits will I draw the smallest fear, doubt of her revolt. For she had eyes, chose me. No, Iago, I'll see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove. And on the proof, there is no more but this: away at once with love or jealousy.
I am glad of it, for now I shall have reason to show the love and duty that I bear you with franker spirit. Therefore, as I am bound, receive it from me. I speak not yet of proof. Look to your wife, observe her well with Cassio. Wear your eye thus, not jealous nor secure. I would not have your free and noble nature out of self-bounty be abused. Look to it. I know our country disposition well. In Venice they do let heaven see the pranks they dare not show their husbands. Their best conscience is not to leave it undone, but keep it unknown.
Dost thou say so?
She did deceive her father, marrying you. And when she seemed to shake and fear your looks, she loved them most.
And so she did.
Why, go to then. She that so young could give out such a seeming to seal her father's eyes up close as oak. He thought 'twas witchcraft, but I am much to blame. I humbly do beseech you of your pardon for too much loving you.
I am bound to thee for ever.
I see this hath a little dashed your spirits.
Not a jot. Not a jot.
I' I fear it has. I hope you will consider what is spoke comes from my love. But I do see you're moved. I am to pray you not to strain my speech to grosser issues, nor to larger reach than to suspicion.
I will not.
Should you do so, my lord, my speech should fall into such vile success which my thoughts aim not at. Cassio's my worthy friend. My lord, I see you're moved.
No, not much moved. I do not think but Desdemona's honest.
Long live she so, and long live you to think so.
And yet, how nature, erring from itself—
Ay, there's the point, as to be bold with you, not to affect many proposed matches of her own clime, complexion, and degree, whereto we see in all things nature tends. For one may smell in such a will most rank, foul disproportion, thoughts unnatural. But pardon me, I do not in position distinctly speak of her, though I may fear her will, recoiling to her better judgment, may fall to match you with her country forms, and happily repent.
Farewell! Farewell! If more thou dost perceive, let me know more. Set on thy wife to observe. Leave me, Iago.
My lord, I take my leave.
Why did I marry? This honest creature doubtless sees and knows more, much more, than he unfolds.
My lord, I would I might entreat your honour to scan this thing no further. Leave it to time. Though it be fit that Cassio have his place, for sure he fills it up with great ability, yet if you please to hold him off a while, you shall by that perceive him and his means. Note if your lady strain his entertainment with any strong or vehement importunity. Much will be seen in that. In the meantime, let me be thought too busy in my fears. as worthy cause I have to fear I am, and hold her free, I do beseech your honour.
Fear not my government.
I once more take my leave.
This fellow's of exceeding honesty, and knows all qualities with a learned spirit of human dealings. If I do prove her haggard, though that her jesses were my dear heart's strings, I'd whistle her off and let her down the wind to pray at fortune. Haply, for I am black and have not those soft parts of conversation that chamberers have, or for I am declined into the vale of years, yet that's not much. She's gone. I am abused, and my relief must be to loathe her. Oh, curse of marriage, that we can call these delicate creatures ours, and not their appetites! I had rather be a toad and live upon the vapour of a dungeon than keep a corner in the thing I love for others' uses. Yet 'tis the plague of great ones. Prerogatived are they less than the base. 'Tis destiny unshunnable, like death.
End of Othello Iago, Act 3, Scene 3.
Part 1.
This recording is in the public domain. Act 3, Scene 3 of
Othello
Iago,
by William Shakespeare. Part 2.
read for LibriVox.org by
John Burleson as Othello.
Tony Addison as Iago. Not poppy, nor mandragora, nor all the drowsy syrups of the world shall ever medicine thee to that sweet sleep which thou owedst yesterday.
Ha! Ha! False to me!
Why, how now, General, no more of that.
Avaunt! Begone! Thou hast set me on the rack. I swear 'tis better to be much abused than but to know to little.
How now, my lord?
What sense had I of her stolen hours of lust? I sought not, thought it not, it harmed not me. I slept the next night well, was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. He that is robbed, not wanting what is stolen, let him not note, and he's not robbed at all.
I am sorry to hear this.
I had been happy if the general camp, pioneers and all, had tasted her sweet body, so I had nothing known. Oh, now forever farewell the tranquil mind, farewell content, farewell the plumed troop and the big wars that make ambition virtue. Oh, farewell, farewell the neighing steed and the shrill trump, the spirit-stirring drum, the ear-piercing fife, the royal banner, and all quality, pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. And oh, you mortal engines, whose rude throats the immortal Jove's dread clamours counterfeit, farewell! Othello's occupation's gone.
Is't possible, my lord?
Villain, be sure thou prove my love a whore. Be sure of it. Give me the ocular proof. or by the worth of man's eternal soul, thou hadst been better have been born a dog than answer my wicked wrath.
Is't come to this?
Make me to see it, or at the least so prove it that the probation bear no hinge nor loop to hang a doubt on. Or woe upon thy life,
My noble lord.
if thou dost slander her and torture me. Never pray more. Abandon all remorse. On horror's head horrors accumulate. Do deeds to make heaven weep, all earth amazed. For nothing canst thou to damnation add greater than that.
O grace! O heaven, defend me! Are you a man? Have you a soul or sense? God be wi' you. Take mine office. O wretched fool, that livest to make thine honesty a vice! O monstrous world, take note, O world! To be direct and honest is not safe. I thank you for this profit, and from hence I'll love no friend, sith love's breeds such offence.
Nay, stay. Thou shouldst be honest.
I should be wise, for honest is a fool, and loses that it works for.
By the world, I think my wife be honest, and think she is not. I think that thou art just, and think thou art not. I'll have some proof. Her name, that was as fresh as Dian's visage, is now begrimed and black as mine own face. If there be cords or knives, poison or fire or suffocating streams, I'll not endure it. Would I were satisfied.
I see, sir, you are eaten up with passion. I do repent me that I put it to you. You would be satisfied?
Would? Nay, I will.
And may. But how? How satisfied, my lord? Would you, the supervisor, grossly gape on, behold her topped?
Death and damnation! Oh!
It were a tedious difficulty, I think, to bring them to that prospect. Damn them then, if ever mortal eyes do see them bolster more than their own. What then? How then? What shall I say? Where's satisfaction? It is impossible you should see this. Were they as prime as goats, as hot as monkeys, as salt as wolves in pride, and fools as gross as ignorance made drunk? But yet I say, if imputation and strong circumstances, which lead directly to the door of truth, will give you satisfaction, you may have it.
Give me a living reason she's disloyal.
I do not like the office, but sith I am entered in this cause so far, pricked to it by foolish honesty and love, I will go on. I lay with Cassio lately, and being troubled with a raging tooth, I could not sleep. There are a kind of men so loose of soul that in their sleep will mutter their affairs. One of this kind is Cassio. In sleep I heard him say, "Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary, let us hide our loves." And then, sir, would he gripe and wring my hand, cry, "O sweet creature," and then kissed me hard, as if he plucked up kisses by the roots that grew upon my lips, then laid his leg over my thigh, and sighed and kissed, and then cried, "Cursed fate that gave thee to the Moor!"
Oh, monstrous! Monstrous!
Nay, this was but his dream.
But this denoted a foregone conclusion. 'Tis a shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream.
And this may help to thicken other proofs that do demonstrate thinly.
I'll tear her all to pieces.
Nay, but be wise, yet we see nothing done. She may be honest yet. Tell me but this, have you not sometimes seen a handkerchief spotted with strawberries in your wife's hand?
I gave her such a one. 'Twas my first gift.
I know not that, but such a handkerchief, I am sure it was your wife's, did I to-day see Cassio wipe his beard with.
If it be that.
If it be that, or any that was hers, it speaks against her with the other proofs.
Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives! One is too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now do I see 'tis true. Look here, Iago. All my fond love thus do I blow to heaven. Is gone. Arise, black vengeance, from thy hollow hell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate. Swell, bosom, with thy fraught, for 'tis of aspics' tongues.
Yet be content.
O blood, blood, blood!
Patience, I say. Your mind perhaps may change.
Never, Iago. Like to the Pontic sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er feels retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Propontic and the Hellespont. Even so, my bloody thoughts with violent pace shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, till that a capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Now, by yond marble heaven, in the due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my words.
Do not rise yet. Witness, you ever-burning lights above, you elements that clip us round about, witness that here Iago doth give up the execution of his wit, hands, heart, to wronged Othello's service. Let him command, and to obey shall be in me remorse. What bloody business ever!
I greet thy love, not with vain thanks, but with acceptance bounteous, and will upon the instant put thee to't. Within these 3 days let me hear thee say that Cassio's not alive.
My friend is dead. 'Tis done at your request. But let her live.
Damn her, lewd minx! Oh, damn her! Come, go with me apart. I will withdraw, to furnish me with some swift means of death for the fair devil. Now art thou my lieutenant.
I am your own for ever. End of Othello Iago, Act 3, Scene 3.
Part 2.
This recording is in the public domain.
Other Days by Lewis Morris. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. O thrush, your song is passing sweet, but never a song that you have sung is half so sweet as thrushes sang when my dear love and I were young. O roses, you are sweet and red, yet not so red nor sweet as were the roses that my mistress loved to bind within her flowing hair. Time filches fragrance from the flower, time steals the sweetness from the song. Love only scorns the tyrant's power, and with the growing years grows strong. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Painter on Silk by Amy Lowell. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Painter on Silk. There was a man who made his living by painting roses upon silk. He sat in an upper chamber and painted, and the noises of the street meant nothing to him. When he heard bugles and fifes and drums, he thought of red and yellow and white roses bursting in the sunshine, and smiled as he worked. He thought only of roses and silk. When he could get no more silk, he stopped painting, and only thought of roses. The day the conquerors entered the city, the old man lay dying. He heard the bugles and drums, and wished he could paint the roses bursting into sound. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Service of Song by Emily Dickinson. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Some keep the Sabbath going to church. I keep it staying at home, with a bobolink for a chorister and an orchard for a dome. Some keep the Sabbath in surplice. I just wear my wings, and instead of tolling the bell for church, our little sexton sings. God preaches, a noted clergyman, and the sermon is never long. So instead of getting to heaven at last, I'm going all along. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
'76 by George Pope Morris. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Before the battle, the clarion call of liberty rings on the startled gales. The rising hills reverberate the rising of the vales. Through all the land the thrilling shout, swift as an arrow, goes. Columbia's champions arm and out to battle with her foes. After the battle, the bugle song of victory is vocal in the air. The strains by warrior voices breathed are echoed by the fair. The eagle with the wreath blood-bought soars proudly to the sun, proclaiming the good fight is fought and the great victory won. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Song of Courtesy by George Meredith. Read for LibriVox.org by John Burlinson. When Sir Gawain was led to his bridal bed by Arthur's knights in scorn God sped, how think you he felt? Oh, the bride within was yellow and dry as a snake's old skin, loathly as sin, scarcely faceable, quite unembraceable, with a hog's bristle on a hag's chin. Gentle Gawain felt as should we, little of love's soft fire knew he, but he was the knight of courtesy. when that evil lady he lay beside bade him turn to greet his bride, what think you he did? Oh, to spare her pain, and let not his loathing her loathliness vain mirror too plain, sadly, sighingly, almost dyingly, turned he and kissed her once and again. Like Sir Gawain, gentles, should we? Silent all! But for pattern agree, there's none like the knight of courtesy. Sir Gawain sprang up amid laces and curls. Kisses are not wasted pearls. What clung in his arms? Oh, a maiden flower, burning with blushes the sweet bride bower, beauty her dower. Breathing perfumingly, "Shall I live bloomingly," said she, "by day or the bridal hour?" Thereat he clasped her, and whispered he, "Thine, rare bride, the choice shall be." Said she, "Twice blessed is courtesy." Of gentle Sir Gawain they had no sport when it was morning in Arthur's court. What think you they cried? Now, life and eyes! This bride is the very saint's dream of a prize, fresh from the skies. See ye not, courtesy is the true alchemy, turning to gold all it touches and tries? Like the true knight, so may we make the basest that there be beautiful by courtesy. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare. Read for LibriVox.org by Fabiola. Sonnet 116. Let me not, to the marriage of true minds, admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark, that looks on tempest, and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose words unknown, although his eye be taken. Love's not time's full, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out, even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never read, nor no man ever loved. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Sword and the Staff by George Pope Morris. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. The sword of the hero, the staff of the sage, whose valor and wisdom are stamped on the age, time-hallowed mementos of those who have riven the scepter from tyrants, the lightning from heaven. This weapon, O freedom, was drawn by the sun, and it never was sheathed till the battle was won. No stain of dishonor upon it we see. 'Twas never surrendered except to the free. While fame claims a hero and patriot sage their names to emblazon on history's page, no holier relics will liberty hoard than Franklin's staff, guarded by Washington's sword. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sympathy by Emily Bronte. Read for LibriVox.org by Fabiola. Sympathy. There should be no despair for you, while nightly stars are burning, while evening pours its silent dew, and sunshine gilds the morning. There should be no despair, though tears may flow down like a river. Are not the best beloved the fears around your heart forever? They weep, you weep, it must be so. Winds sigh as you are sighing, and winter shed its grief in snow where autumn's leaves are lying. Yet these revive, and from their fate your fate cannot be parted. Then journey on, if not elate, still never broken-hearted. End of the poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To a Friend by Amy Lowell. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira. January 2016. I ask but one thing of you, only one, that always you will be my dream of you, that never shall I wake to find untrue all this I have believed and rested on, forever vanished, like a vision gone out into the night. Alas, how few there are who strike in us a chord we knew existed, but so seldom heard its tone, we tremble at the half-forgotten sound. The world is full of rude awakenings, and heaven-born castles shattered to the ground. Yet still our human longing vainly clings to a belief in beauty through all wrongs. Oh, stay your hand, and leave my heart its songs. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To the Unattainable, Lament of Mohammed Akram, by Lawrence Hope. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. I would have taken golden stars from the sky for your necklace. I would have shaken rose leaves for your rest from all the rose trees. But you had no need. The short, sweet grass sufficed for your slumber, and you took no heed of such trifles as gold or a necklace. There is an hour, at twilight, too heavy with memory. There is a flower that I fear, for your hair had its fragrance. I would have squandered youth for you, and its hope and its promise, before you wandered, careless, away from my useless passion. But what is the use of my speech, since I know of no words to recall you? I am praying that time may teach you your cruelty, me forgetfulness. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
What Do Poets Want with Gold? By Archibald Lampman. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. What do poets want with gold? What do poets want with gold? Cringing slaves and cushioned ease. Are not crusts and garments old better for their souls than these? Gold is but the juggling rod of a false usurping god, graven long ago in hell with a sombre stony spell, working in the world forever. Hate is not so strong to sever, beating human heart from heart. Soul from soul we shrink and part, and no longer hail each other with the ancient name of brother. Give the simple poet gold, and his song will die of cold. He must walk with men that reel on the rugged path, and feel every sacred soul that is beating very near to his. Simple, human, careless, free, as God made him he must be. For the sweetest song of bird is the hidden tenor heard in the dusk at even flush, from the forest's inner hush, of the simple hermit thrush. What do poets want with love? Flowers that shiver out of hand, and the fervid fruits that prove only bitter broken sand. Poets speak of passion best when their dreams are undistressed, and the sweetest songs are sung e'er the inner heart is stung. Let them dream, 'tis better so, ever dream but never know. If their spirits once have drained all that goblet crimson stained, finding what they dreamed divine only earthly sluggish wine, sooner will the warm lips pale and the flawless voices fail, sooner come the drooping wing and the after days that bring no such songs as did the spring. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
When You Are Old by William Butler Yeats. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. When you are old and gray and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with love false or true. But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled and paced upon the mountains overhead and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wife of Bath's Tale, The Tale, by Geoffrey Chaucer. Read for LibriVox.org by Tony Addison. In older days of the King Arthur, of which that Britain speaketh great honour, all was this land fulfilled of faery. The elf queen with her jolly company danced full oft in many a green mead. This was the old opinion as I read. I speak of many 100 years ago, but now can no man see known elvers more. For now the great charity and prayers of limiters and other holy frayers, that search every land and every stream, as thick as motes in the sunner-beam, blessing halls, chambers, kitchens, and bowers, cities and burgs, castles high and towers, thorps and barns, shepons and dairies, this makes that there be now no fairies. For there as wont to walk was an elf, there walketh now the limiter himself, in undermeales and in morrowings, and saith his matins and his holy things, as he goes in his limitation. Women may now go safely up and down in every bush and under every tree. There is none other incubus but he, and he will do to them no dishonour. And so befell it that this King Arthur had in his house a lusty bachelor, that on a day came riding from river, and happened that, alone as she was born, he saw a maiden walking him before, of which maiden anon maugre her head, by very force he reft her maidenhead, for which oppression was such clamour and such pursuit unto the King Arthur, that damned was this knight for to be dead by course of law, and should have lost his head, peraventure, such was the statute, though, but that the queen and other ladies more, so long they prayed the king of his grace, till he his life him granted in the place, and gave him to the queen all at her will, to choose whether she would him save or spill. The queen thanked the king with all her might, and after this thus spake she to the knight, when that she saw her time upon a day. Thou standest yet, quoth she, in such array, that of thy life yet hast thou no surety. I grant thee life, if thou canst tell to me what thing is it that women most desiren. Beware, and keep thy neck-bone from the iron. And if thou canst not tell it me anon, yet will I give thee leave for to go'n a 12-month and a day to seek and lear an answer suffisant in this mattere. And surety will I have, ere that thou pace, thy body for to yielden in this place. Woe was the knight, and sorrowfully sicked, but what, he might not do all as him liked, and at the last he chose him for to wend, and come again right at the yeare's end, with such answer as God would him purvey, and took his leave, and wended forth his way. He sought in every house and every place, whereas he hoped for to find a grace, to learn what thing women love the most, but he could not arrive in any coast, whereas he might to find in this mattere two creatures according in fear. Some said that women loved best richesse, some said honour, and some said jolliness, some rich array, and some said lust to bed, and oft-time to be widow and be wed. Some said that we are in our heart most eased when that we are y-flattered and y-praised. He went full nigh the sooth, I will not lie. A man shall win us best with flattery, and with attendance, and with business be we y-limed both the more and less. And some men said that we do love the best for to be free, and do right as us lest, and that no man reprove us of our vice, but say that we are wise and nothing nice, for truly there is none among us all, if any wight will claw us on the goal, that will not kick, for that he saith us sooth. Assay, and he shall find it that so doeth. For be we never so vicious within, we will be held both wise and clean of sin. And some men said that great delight have we, for to be held stable and eke secre, and in one purpose steadfastly to dwell, and not bewray a thing that men us tell. But that tale is not worth a rake a stale. Pardie, we women canna nothing hele. Witness on Midas, will ye hear the tale? Ovid, among us other thinges smaller, saith Midas had, under his longe hairs, growing upon his head, 2 asses' ears, the which vice he hid, as best he might, full subtilly from every man's sight, that, save his wife, there knew of it no more. He loved her most, and trusted her also. He prayed her that to no creature she woulde tellen of his disfigure. She swore him nay, for all the world to win, she would not do that villainy or sin, to make her husband have so foul a name. She would not tell it for her own shame. But natheless her thoughte that she died, that she so longe should a counsel hide. Her thought it swelled so sore about her heart, that needes must some word from her astart. And since she durst not tell it unto man, down to a marish fast thereby she ran, till she came there her heart was all afire, and as a bittern bumbles in the mire, she laid her mouth unto the water down. Bewray me not, thou water, with thy sound, quoth she, to thee I tell it and no more. Mine husband hath long asses' ears too. Now is mine heart all whole, now is it out, I might no longer keep it out of doubt. Here may ye see, though we a time abide, yet out it must, we can no counsel hide. The remnant of the tale, if ye will hear, read in Ovid, and there ye may it lear. This knight, of whom my tale is specially, when that he saw he might not come thereby, that is to say, what women love the most. Within his breast full sorrowful was his ghost. But home he went, for he might not sojourn. The day was come that homeward he must turn. And in his way it happened him to ride, in all his care, under a forest side. Whereas he saw upon a dancer go of ladies 24 and yet more. Towards this ilke dance he drew full yern, the hope that he some wisdom there should learn. But certainly, ere he came fully there, y-vanished was this dance he knew not where. No creature saw he that bare life, save on the green he sitting saw a wife. A fouler wight there may no man devise. Against this knight this old wife gan to rise, and said, Sir knight, hereforth lieth no way. Tell me what ye are seeking by your fay. Peraventure it may the better be. These older folk know much a thing, quoth she. My lieve mother, quoth this knight certain, I am but dead, but if that I can sayn, what thing it is that women most desire, could ye me wis, I would well quite your hair. Plight me thy troth here in mine hand, quoth she. The nexte thing that I require of thee, thou shalt it do, if it be in thy might, and I will tell it thee ere it be night. Have here my troth, quoth the knight, I grant. Then quoth she, I dare me well avaunt, thy life is safe, for I will stand thereby. Upon my life, the queen will say as I. Let's see which is the proudest of them all, that wears either a kerchief or a caul, that dare say nay to what I shall you teach. Let us go forth without a longer speech. Then rowned she a pistol in his ear, and bade him to be glad and have no fear. When they were come unto the court, this knight said he had held his day as he had hight, and ready was his answer as he said. Full many a noble wife, and many a maid, and many a widow, for that they be wise, the queen herself sitting as a justice, assembled be his answer for to hear, and afterward this knight was bid appear. To every wight commanded was silence, and that the knight should tell in audience what thing that worldly women love the best. This knight he stood not still as doth a beast, but to this question anon answered with manly voice, that all the court it heard. My liege lady, generally, quoth he, women desire to have the sovereignty, as well over their husband as their love, and for to be in mastery him above. This is your most desire, though ye me kill. Do as you list, I am here at your will. In all the court there was no wife nor maid, nor widow that contraried what he said, but said he worthy was to have his life, and with that word upstart that older wife, which that the knight saw sitting on the green. Mercy, quoth she, my sovereign lady queen, ere that your court depart, do me right. I taught to this answer unto this knight, for which he plighted me his trothe there. The firste thing I would of him require, he would it do if it lay in his might. Before this court then pray I thee, sir knight, quoth she, that thou me take unto thy wife. For well thou knowest that I have kept thy life. If I say false, say nay upon thy fay. This knight answered, Alas, and well away, I know right well that such was my behest. For Godde's love choose a new request, take all my good, and let my body go. Nay then, quoth she, I shrew us both two, for though that I be old and foul and poor, I nod for all the metal nor the ore that under earth is grave or lies above. But if thy wife I were, and eke thy love. My love, quoth he, nay, my damnation, alas, that any of my nation should ever so foul disparaged be. But all for naught, the end is this, that he constrained was, that needs he must wed, and take this older wife, and go to bed. Now woulde some men say par aventure that for my negligence I do no cure to tell you all the joy and all the array that at the feast was made that ilke day, to which thing shortly answeren I shall. I say there was no joy nor feast at all, there was but heaviness and muche sorrow, for privily he wed her on the morrow, and all day after hid him as an owl, so woe was him his wife looked so foul. Great was the woe the knight had in his thought, when he was with his wife to bed y brought. He wallowed and he turned to and fro. This olde wife lay smiling evermore, and said, Dear husband, benedicite, fares every knight thus with his wife as ye? Is this the law of King Arthur's house? Is every knight of his thus dangerous? I am your owen love, and eke your wife. I am she which that saved hath your life, and certes yet did I you ne'er unright. Why fare ye thus with me this firste night? Ye fare like a man had lost his wit. What is my guilt? For God's love tell me it, and it shall be amended if I may. Amended, quoth this knight. Alas, nay, nay, it will not be amended nevermore. Thou art so loathly and so old also, and thereto comest of so low a kind, that little wonder though I wallow and wind. So woulde God mine hearte woulde breast. Is this, quoth she, the cause of your unrest? Yea, certainly, quoth he, no wonder is. Now, sir, quoth she, I could amend all this, if that me list, ere it were days 3, so well ye mighte bear you unto me. But for ye speaken of such gentleness as is descended out of old richesse, that therefore shalle ye be gentlemen. Such arrogancy is not worth a hen. Look who that is most virtuous alway, prive and apert, and most intendeth aye to do the gentle deedes that he can, and take him for the greatest gentleman. Christ will we claim of him our gentleness, not of our elders for their old richesse. For though they gave us all their heritage, for which we claim to be of high parage, yet may they not bequeath for no thing to none of us their virtuous living, that made them gentlemen called to be, and bade us follow them in such degree. Well can the wise poet of Florence, that highte Dante, speak of this sentence. Lo, in such manner rhyme is Dante's tale, full seld upriseth by his branches smaller. Prowess of man, for God of his goodness wills that we claim of him our gentleness. For of our elders may we nothing claim but temporal things that man may hurt and maim. Eke every wight knows this as well as I. If gentleness were planted naturally upon a certain lineage down the line, prive and apert, then would they never find to do of gentleness the fair office. Then might they do no villainy nor vice. Take fire and bear it to the darkest house betwixt this and the Mount of Caucasus, and let men shut the doors and go then, yet will the fire as fair and light to brenn as 20,000 men might it behold. Its office natural aye will it hold, on peril of my life till that it die. Here may ye see well how that genterie is not annexed to possession, since folk do not their operation always as doth the fire low in its kind. For God it wot, men may full often find a lorde's son do shame and villainy, and he that will have price of his gentry, for he was born of a gentle house, and had his elders noble and virtuous, and will himself do no gentle deedes, nor follow his gentle ancestry that dead is, he is not gentle, be he duke or earl, for villains' sinful deedes make a churl. For gentleness is but the renommee of thine ancestors for their high bounty, which is a strange thing to thy person. Thy gentleness cometh from God alone. Then comes our very gentleness of grace. It was no thing bequeathed us with our place. Think how noble, as saith Valerius, was thilke Tullius Hostilius, that out of povert' rose to high. Read in Seneca, and read eke in Boece, there shall ye see express that it no dread is, that he is gentle that doth gentle deedes, and therefore leave a husband I conclude, albeit that mine ancestors were rude, yet may the higher God, and so hope I, grant me his grace to live virtuously. Then am I gentle, when that I begin to live virtuously and waive sin. And whereas ye of povert' me reprieve, the higher God, on whom that we believe, in wilful povert' chose to lead his life, and certes every man, maiden, or wife may understand that Jesus, heaven's King, ne would not choose a virtuous living. Glad povert' is an honest thing certain, this will Seneca and other clerkes sayn. Whoso that holds him paid of his povert', I hold him rich, though he hath not a shirt. He that coveteth is a poore wight, for he would have what is not in his might. But he that nought hath nor coveteth to have is rich, although ye hold him but a knave. Very povert' is sin properly, Juvenal saith of povert' merrily. The poore man, when he goes by the way, before the thieves he may sing and play. Povert' is hateful good, and, as I guess, a full great bringer out of business, a great amender eke of sapience to him that taketh it in patience. Povert' is this, although it seem elange, possession that no wight will challenge. Povert' full often, when a man is low, makes him his God, and eke himself to know. Povert' a spectacle is, as thinketh me, through which he may his very friendes see. And therefore, sir, since that I you not grieve, of my povert' no more me reprieve. Now, sir, of elder ye reprieve me, and certes, sir, though none authority were in no book, ye gentles of honour say that men should an older wight honour, and call him father for your gentleness. And authors shall I finden, as I guess. Now there ye say that I am foul and old, then dread ye not to be a cockerwold. For filth and elder also may I thee be greater wardens upon chastity. But natheless, since I know your delight, I shall fulfil your worldly appetite. Choose now, quoth she, one of these thinges tway, to have me foul and old till that I dey, and be to you a true humble wife, and never you displease in all my life. Or else will ye have me young and fair, and take your aventure of the repair that shall be to your house because of me, or in some other place it may well be. Now choose yourself whether that you liketh. This knight adviseth him, and so he sacketh. But at the last he said in this maniere, My lady and my love and wife so dear, I put me in your wiser governance. Choose for yourself which may be most pleasance, and most honour to you and me also. I do no force the whether of the two, for as you liketh, it sufficeth me. Then have I got the mastery, quoth she, since I may choose and govern as me lest. Yea, certes, wife, quoth he, I hold it best. Kiss me, quoth she, we are no longer wroth, for by my troth I will be to you both, this is to say, yea, both are fair and good. I pray to God that I may sterve wood, but I to you be all so good and true as ever was wife since the world was new. And but I be to-morrow as fair to seen as any lady, empress, or queen that is betwixt the east and eke the west, do with my life and death right as you lest. Cast up the curtain and look how it is. And when the knight saw verily all this, that she so fair was and so young thereto, for joy he hent her in his armours too. His heart to bathed in a bath of bliss, 1,000 times on row he gan her kiss, and she obeyed him in everything that might do him pleasance or liking. And thus they live unto their lives' end in perfect joy, and Jesus Christ us send husbanders meek and young and fresh in bed, and grace to overlive them that we wed. And eke I pray Jesus to short their lives, that will not be governed by their wives, and old and angry niggards of dispense. God send them soon a very pestilence. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wife of Flanders by G.K. Chesterton. Read for LibriVox.org by 5pack. Low and brown barns, thatched and repatched and tattered, where I had 7 sons until to-day. A little hill of hay your spur has scattered. This is not Paris, you have lost the way. You, staring at your sword to find it brittle, surprised at the surprise that was your plan, who, shaking and breaking barriers not a little, find never more the death door of Sedan. Must I for more than carnage call you claimant, paying you a penny for each son you slay? Man, the whole globe in gold were not repayment for what you have lost, and how shall I repay? What is the price of that red spark that caught me from a kind farm that never had a name? What is the price of that dead man they brought me? For other dead men do not look the same. How should I pay for one poor graven steeple, whereon you shattered what you shall not know? How should I pay you, miserable people? How should I pay you everything you owe? Unhappy, can I give you back your honour? Though I forgave, would any man forget? While all the great green land has trampled on her the treason and terror of the night we met. Not any more in vengeance or in pardon. One old wife bargains for a bean that's hers. You have no word to break, no heart to harden. Ride on and prosper. You have lost your spurs. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Winter Winds, Cold and Blee by John Clare. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Winter winds cold and blee, chilly blows o'er the lea. Wander not out to me, Jenny so fair. Wait in thy cottage free, I will be there. Wait in thy cushioned chair, with thy white bosom bare. Kisses are sweetest there, leave it for me. Free from the chilly air, I will meet thee. How sweet can courting prove? How can I kiss my love, muffled in hat and glove from the chill air? Quaking beneath the grove, what love is there? Lay by thy woolen vest, drape no cloak o'er thy breast, where my hand oft hath pressed. Pin nothing there, where my head droops to rest, leave its bed bare. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
This world is full of beauty, but Gerald Massey. Read for LibriVox.org by Glenn O'Brien. www.glennobrien.net. There lives a voice within me, a guest angel of my heart, and its bird-like warbles win me, to the tears I tremble start. Up evermore it springeth, like some magic melody, and evermore it singeth this sweet song of songs to me. This world is full of beauty, as other worlds above, and if we did our duty, it might be as full of love. Morn's budding, bright, melodious hour comes sweetly as of yore. Night's starry tendernesses dower with glory evermore. But there be million hearts accurst, where no glad sunbursts shine, and there be million souls athirst for life's immortal wine. This world is full of beauty, as other worlds above, and if we did our duty, it might be as full of love. If faith and hope and kindness passed, as coin twixt heart and heart, up through the eve's tear brightness, out the sun's soul should start. The dreary, dim and desolate will wear a sunny bloom, and love should spring from buried hate, like flowers from winter's tomb. This world is full of beauty, as ours would above, and if we did our duty, it might be as full of love. Were truth our uttered language, spirits might talk with men, and God-illuminated earth should see the golden age again. The burthened heart should soar in mirth, like morn's young poet lark, and misery's last tear wept on earth quench hell's last cunning spark. This world is full of beauty, as other worlds above, and if we did our duty, it might be as full of love. We hear the cry for bread, with pretty smiling all round. Ill and fury in their bounty blush for man with fruitage crowned. What a merry wood it might be, opulent for all and aye, with its lands that ask for labour, and its wealth that wastes away. This world is full of beauty, as other worlds above, and if we did our duty, it might be as full of love. The leaf tongues of the forest, and the flower lips of the sod, the abbey that hymned the raptures in the ear of God, the summer wind that bringeth music over land and sea, each a voice that singeth this sweet song of songs to me. This world is full of beauty, as other worlds above, and if we did our duty, it might be as full of love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.